morning, I'm Kevin Versino with Rocktown Adventures out here at Espenside Forest Preserve along the Kishwaukee River with Severson Dells. We're producing a kayak safety video for 815 Outside. All three of us have one mission: to help you enjoy the outdoors. So with the increase in paddling participation we're seeing as a result of the COVID situation, we thought it'd be a good idea to highlight some ABCs and what you should be thinking about before you head out in the river and enjoy this beautiful environment. So the first thing we want to be paying attention to is the weather. Look ahead. Be aware of lightning. Be aware of what could be coming in the area while you're out in the water. As they often say in the Midwest, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, it's going to change. So have an idea what the weather's going to be, okay? Second thing is tell someone where you're going. Even if you're paddling with someone, but especially if you're by yourself, tell someone where you're going to get out at, where you're going to launch from, and about how long you're going to be on the river. That way someone knows that if they haven't heard from you by a certain time, that maybe something happened to you on the river and need to be go looked after to make sure that you're okay. And the final thing to be paying attention to is the conditions in which you're going to be paddling in. Check flow rates, check flood levels in relation to the height and what's safe paddling. Here in the Kishwaukee River, through our experience, 3,000 cubic feet per second is the max flow rate that will permit renters or customer trips to go on. For my paddling experience, about 3,500, I'm safe with that. If you're not sure about what's a safe paddling level, feel free to call the store, visit 815 Outside website, or give Severson Dells a call. We'll be happy to share any information we have to ensure that you have a safe and memorable outdoor experience. All right, well, now that we've checked the weather, made sure it's safe to get outside, we've notified someone that we're going paddling, we've checked the river levels and the flow rate to make sure it's safe to go out. Now we're ready to head out in the river and have a good time. There's some things you should have with you to enjoy a safe and memorable experience. First thing's your life jacket. Always wear your PFD. By the time you need it, it's too late. So please always wear your PFD. In addition, always have a whistle on you and preferably even a knife, especially on rivers. People fish, you can get fishing line caught in trees. It's always nice to have something available so you can cut anything that you might need to. Then we're talking about things you want to have on the boat with you. A first aid kit. Someone in your group should always have a first aid kit. We should have a tow line. It can be a simple tether or a rope that wraps around the coaming. And this should be accessible, whether you're in a kayak or a canoe. It should either be strapped around the thwart in the canoe, or you simply just snap it around your decking. That's part of the reason why we have that decking on there. Last thing you should have is a throw rope, just in case someone should fall out and has a problem swimming. We have a way to throw them a rope and they can safely get to shore from there. Then in terms of your own personal equipment, what you want, water. Surprise, this is exercise. You will be burning calories. Probably don't want to be drinking the Kishwaukee or the Rock River, so make sure you've got some water with you. Maybe you want to have a dry bag with you. Change of clothes or your lunch or something. These hatch covers, they're great for storage. They're great for safety because those bulkheads provide buoyancy to the boat, but they're not waterproof. They're watertight. And they're watertight if you make sure they're sealed. So make sure you seal them before you get out. Anything that goes in your hatches will get wet or has the potential to get wet. So any clothing or food maybe put in a dry bag. Someone should have a phone with them out there. We strongly suggest getting a e-case. All these are items you can get at Rocktown Adventure or your local paddle sport retailer. A lot of people use Ziploc bags and they work. Ziploc bags do work. They can also get punctured easier than this kind of material. So if you're going to bring your phone out there, invest the 15, 20 bucks for a case to make sure your phone works when you get back, or have a lot of rice at home to dry out your phone when you get there. Then from a safety standpoint of paddling, if we should get upside down or capsize, we want to have a pump with you. And we also want to have a sponge with you. Pump to get the main water out of there, and any remnants we have in there, use a sponge. We can get it cleaned out from there, have a nice dry cockpit from there. So in addition to your kayak and your paddle, there's some safety gear you should have. Always a PFD, water, sunscreen. Wear shoes that can get wet. You don't know what's on the bottom of a lake or a river, so have your feet protected. Now we're on the river paddling. There's a few things you want to be cognizant of as we're paddling. One is being aware of where our upriver edge is. The direction the current's coming is considered upriver. So if you ever get yourself sideways going downriver, make sure that we're always keeping our upriver edge up just so slightly. So coming right here at Espenshire, we've got a nice current that runs around. Over off here to the side, we've got an eddy. An eddy is a calm area in the river formed because water likes to fill in holes. So as the river comes down, it'll circle back because there's a hole to fill in. There's no current there, so an eddy's a good spot you can relax if you're on moving water where you're not going to still be drifted down the river by the current. There's a technique for going in and out of eddies, and there's a way you can use them to your advantage. Then further down the river, we've got some disturbance on the surface. With those spread out in kind of larger waves, that's telling us that that disturbance is on the riverbed. And we can navigate and go through that very easily. If you come across to a section in the river where the ripples are very small and very close together, that's telling you that we have a depth issue there, and it's going to be very shallow. There's a good chance that we could be bottoming it out right there. Last thing is know about obstacles. As we approach a down obstacle in the river, the current's going to pick up. So while you think that you might need 15 feet to clear an obstacle, double it. Because as you approach a downed obstacle in the river, current's going to speed up. So you're going to need more room to clear that obstacle than you think you're going to. One of the things we're lucky to have here in Winnebago County is a lot of outdoor recreational assets. And that leads people to want to try kayaking. So if we're just getting into the sport, ideally we're trying it out on flat water, i.e. a lake. And hopefully not on a very windy day. So looking for a protected area on water that's not moving. We want to try moving water. Believe it or not, the best river to get your moving water legs is actually the Rock River. And why that is because it's nice and wide. We don't have a lot of down obstacles in the Rock River. You can see where you're going from really far away. If you have any questions on where to paddle, how to paddle, what you need to paddle, please feel free to give the store a call or visit 815 or call Severson Dells. Thanks a lot and have a good paddle.